Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I realized this morning that I said when I unboxed this Olight, I was going to figure out how it actually worked since I looked like a dunce on camera and didn't know what was going on with it when I opened it up, and do kind of an actual impressions review, small thing, once I figured it out a little bit. So this is going to be that video. My apologies for leaving you guys hanging. I don't know how many of you were actually hanging on by a thread waiting for this video, but let's get it done. So first of all, the case that this Warrior X Pro comes in is really, really nice. I've had a number of Olights. A couple of them have come with cases like this, like my M2R Pro Warrior, or Warrior Pro, I don't know how you say it. That one comes in it. And yeah, those have like a buckle that you kind of snap open, like one of these guys. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, this one is a magnetic clasp, which is actually a pretty strong magnet. Like this sucker is, not only is it not gonna pop open because of that, but you can see there's also retention in here because it pinches in these two spots, and you have to kind of yank past that point and then it comes out. So really nice case that it comes in. Probably the nicest Olight case. In fact, definitely the nicest Olight case that I have experienced thus far. So when I ordered this guy, I hadn't really researched it at all. I just always thought they looked cool, and I assumed it functioned like all of my other Olights, and I was kind of right, kind of wrong. This one has some differences. So first of all, it's the biggest Olight I own or have ever owned. I think it looks really cool in this desert camo. It's got kind of a gold, like metallic sheen to it, especially in the lightest parts, but it's done really well. All these have a unique splatter pattern from what I understand, so they're all going to be a little bit different, and I think that's cool about it. Now, when I first opened this guy up, you might remember when I went to turn it on, I felt a buzz, like the thing vibrated like a phone does when you get a text message, and I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a little weird. I wondered if it did that every time you ever turn it on. The answer is no, it does not. That's a low battery warning. So, spoiler alert, the whole reason why I wasn't figuring out what was going on with this when I first opened it is because it shipped with a low battery, which is totally fine. You're supposed to plug it in when you get it anyways. So, I went ahead and charged it, and then that night, I got it out again, and I played with it, and I figured everything out. So, this light, sorry, it's not a knife. I review a lot of knives. This light only has two brightnesses, which I kind of dig about it. I have a number of Olights, like the one that lives here on my pack. You'll probably see this a lot just because it's always on my shoulder. This is an M1T Raider, one brightness. I think it's about 500 lumens. I could be off on that, but it works great. I really enjoy that light, but it's just one brightness. My little AA powered i5T copper that I got from River's Edge Cutlery recently, that sucker has two brightnesses. I think it's 100 and 300 lumens. So you click once, you get 100 lumens. Turn it off, turn it back on, you get 300 lumens. So it alternates between the brightnesses. It's real easy to use, real easy to figure out. This one, much like that one, has a low and a high. So to access the low mode, you just lightly press the tail cap. It's going to stay on, and this is the low mode. I don't know off the top of my head how many lumens it is. I'm sure you could look it up if you wanted the actual like facts and figures, but this brightness, obviously it's daylight right now, but I can see it on all this stuff around me. It's a fairly reasonable brightness. Like if I was going to pull this light out to find something in my apartment real quick, or in my car, or whatever I would need to pull out a flashlight reasonably for, this brightness would be great. And the runtime is going to be crazy long with how massive this battery is in here for that low brightness. But then this light is a thrower. It's meant to go a distance. So if I want to access the bright mode, I just press it all the way in, and then I have all of the brightness, and it's going to stay on, or I can hold it down, and when I release, it comes right off. So if you hold the button in, it's momentary. It relies on the pressure of my thumb to stay on. These flies are killing me. And then when you let go, it comes off, or you give it a quick click, it stays all the way on. So it's pretty intuitive. If you want a lower amount of light, you lightly press. It clicks right on, you've got a nice low amount of light. If you want all the light, you press it all the way in, you get that satisfying click, and you've got all of the light coming out of it. This thing is really bright, and it throws really far. Yesterday, I was up in the mountains with my family, and we were there after dark. And so just for fun, from in the car, I just rolled down the window and stuck this out with my left hand and shone it up kind of onto the mountainside. And the distance and the intensity that it got was incredible. Obviously, I can't show that to you right now because it's daylight, and so it's not really going to come through how bright this thing is. But at night, it is stunning. I want to say this thing is rated at like 2,250 lumens, something like that. So it's by far not only the brightest Olight that I have, but it's the brightest light that I own for sure. So I really, really like this sucker. I imagine this would be a great light for a number of circumstances, but primarily if you're in law enforcement or the military and you're searching for someone or something. Well, that's gross. There's a tick on me. It's on my shoe, thankfully. Apparently I need to be careful where I'm sitting. But yeah, if you're searching for someone or something in the dark, this is the light that I would pick to have on me. So hopefully I won't be in a situation anytime soon where I'm out in the dark searching for someone or something important, because that's a little bit of a scary scenario for someone like me to be in. But if the situation arises, at least I have the right light for it. So this thing is really cool. I'm glad that I own it. I will say it does feel less versatile than like my M2R does. In fact, I have an M2R in camo that you'll have seen if you watch the unboxing on this, and that's kind of a go-to like throw in my pack if I'm gonna be doing some night hiking or camping light. And then I've actually got one, the same light but in black, that's full-time mounted on my Ruger PC carbine as my weapon light. That light has not only the tail switch, but it also has a switch up front as well, which has a light built into it that can be green or red to show you your battery levels and all that. And with that, you can switch through a bunch of different brightnesses. You can strobe, etc. This one does not have a strobe function, or if it does, I haven't found it, and it's just the two brightnesses. So this one is simpler for sure, but it is less versatile because of its simplicity, in my opinion. And it's also a tighter beam than the M2Rs that I have. Not by a ton. Those are throwers as well, from what I understand. I'm not a light expert. If you want to watch a light expert's videos, I'm sure they are out there. I just have them and use them and like them, so I'm a layman when it comes to this. But yeah, the M2R has a little bit of a wider throw. It doesn't get quite as much distance, but for like a general, like while I'm out camping or hiking kind of light, I do find that the beam is a little bit better. This is better if I'm trying to see a specific spot far away. It really gets it there. It's like, I don't want to say it's a laser. It's by no means a laser, but it's really good at focusing in and getting some distance. And it does have a good amount of spill around it as well. So if you are trying to illuminate an area, it's not like it's just going in that spot and you can't see anything around it. Inherently, because of how bright it is, it really does illuminate a pretty good path in front of you as well. But the focus of this light is not to flood, not even close. So I'm glad that I have this and my other Olights. I think this definitely fits in with kind of my collection as being a little bit specialized, and it's also just really, really cool. I mean, look at the sucker. You've got this kind of tactical bezel up here, so if I need to bash someone's head in while I'm searching in the woods for a lost puppy, I don't know, it's gonna get that done. There was also a component in the box I should mention real quick that I had no idea what it was, and it was kind of a rubberized disc that was like aluminum on the inside. I should have brought it with me, but I read into it, I figured it out. It's just to replace this kind of, I don't know if you would call that geared or what, but this ring around here. And so I think the idea is when you put it on, it gives you a better place to hold the light like this. I assume in a tactical application that might come in handy. I don't foresee myself really wanting to hold my light like that, but it is a great option. It gives you a nice rubberized spot that's comfortable to put your fingers, and from what I have seen, it's fairly easy to install. You just screw this off, and then I think you have to pull off the little O-ring, and then that one slides off, slide the new one on, and repeat in reverse to put it back together, and then you've got that rubberized one on there. So that's cool. I will also mention the clip on this guy is different from my other Olights. Olight, on most of their lights that they come out with now, They have the kind of bi-directional clip, so it can clip on either like this, but it also loops in such a way. Let me just show you. See, it clips. You can insert this way or this way. So if I want to put this on like the bill of my hat, I've actually never done this with it because it's not really my style, but I could just put it on like that. And then I guess I would probably put it on the top instead of down here like a weirdo, but I've got this light here now. So now I have a headlight. Great, cool. This one would not work for that because the clip only goes in this direction. So unless I want to shine it right into my eyes, which I do not with how bright this is, or with any light for that matter. It's a weird thing to say. It just really wouldn't be capable of being mounted like that because it only has a single directional clip. So if that's for some reason important to you on your tactical thrower, then this one is not going to have a clip like that. I do really like these clips. I'll say I do prefer the bi-directional clip just because it does give you options, and I find it's super comfortable in pocket to have that clip that goes both ways. But yeah, make all the goes both ways jokes you want. Here, now's your opportunity. Anyways, this has been fun. That's my Olight. I apologize for taking a little bit to film that. It is a really cool light. I'm certainly glad that I got one. Like I said, I think it'll have a place in my collection. I don't know if it's the most it's certainly not the most versatile, broad array of functionality light that I have. I have other lights that are EDC sized and still bright and have several modes and strobes and all kinds of stuff. I've got a couple of Olights, so that one is definitely more streamlined to a specific purpose, but it's fun and it's cool, and I like being over prepared. So it's one of those pieces of gear or kit that just it's over preparedness. I don't have an immediate and regular use for it, but should the need arise, I've got the right tool now. So take that for what it's worth. It's a cool light. I think they're still in stock in a couple of places. When I looked a couple of days ago, I know River's Edge Cutlery had some of them. This one is the limited edition in Desert Tan, and they had some of that. So they're out there if you're looking for that light. I think there's still a few left. I could be wrong depending on when this goes live and when you're watching this. So don't be mad at me if they're not still around. But I got mine straight from Olight because it was a deal on their flash sale. So there you have it. This has been fun. I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for watching.